What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Old Volks TV. We're almost done. This brown car, this beautiful, amazing brown car, we're close. There's just a few little things left that we gotta take care of before I can get this car down the road. We got the motor in, we got all the wiring done. You know, we got everything hooked up, we got the fuel system hooked up. I've got a little bit of wiring left to do underneath the car, but I'm kind of recovering from a surgery and I haven't been able to get underneath there to do it. It's like 2 wires, it's killing me. I might have somebody swing by and give us a hand tomorrow for that. But one of the other things we need to take care of is this giant fire-breathing monster of a motor has a breathing problem. It didn't have any valve cover breathers before. We put some on, you remember we did that a while back. Right now I've just got them connected to each other so oil doesn't leak out, but we're gonna put a breather on this thing and we got a really cool one. Something that's going to match the style of this motor, this clean motor. We spent all that time cleaning up the wiring and getting everything out of the engine bay so that it's just the engine and everything is tucked away and hidden at great expense and great time to get back there and hide it all. We got it all hidden though. It's looking really, really good. We don't want to mess it up by putting in some kind of clunky breather in there, you know, some kind of weird thing. So we got something special lined up for this one. It's here. We finally got all the pieces for it. We had to do some planning and some ordering of different pieces and some things that I thought it came with that it didn't come with we had to get, but it's okay. I'm going to show you guys all that over here, back here, right now. So what we picked up, I've seen these online, I've seen these on the website, but I haven't seen anybody that actually has one in their car. So I don't know how many of them are out there. Their shifters are numbered, but I don't think this is numbered because this is like 11,300 something. I don't think that's what it is. But anyways, what we got is this beautiful, this is the breather to end all breathers right here. It actually goes in the car like this between the hinges for the deck lid. So it's gonna sit back behind that shroud nice and tidy, nice and up high out of the way. I thought that it came with, you know, maybe some fittings or some plugs or something that you could use on there. Nah, it's super nice. It was like $400 with shipping and everything. It came in like 3 days, man. Vintage Speed kills it every time you order something from Taiwan. I swear it gets here faster than the stuff I order from California somehow. It's wild. But it showed up and, you know, I had to play with it and kind of test fit it and make sure that it worked before I showed it to you guys. I had to be sure I knew what I was doing, right? And it fits and it looks amazing in there. So we took it all back out and put it back in the box just for you so you can see how we get it. So this has 5 ports on it. There's one on either end. There's one on either side on the bottom. And then there's that one right there in the front. This gives you a little versatility on, you know, how you can get your hoses to there and if you have multiple hoses on there. So we had to figure out a way to make it clean and figure out a way to get those, you know, those breathers up around from underneath without them showing. I was going to use, you know, this really nice braided stainless, you know, oil hose. It's like 109 degrees in here, so, you know, give me a break. I was going to use this shiny stainless steel braided oil hose and run it up in the corners, and it didn't look good. It looks cool. This is really great stuff, but it takes away from how clean and empty that engine bay is. So we're going to use black rubber. And so I got these fittings. This is a M16 by 1.5. That's what those holes are. And we just got, you know, some regular black AN fittings because I'm going to put them in the side and they're going to be hidden. And then I got these little 45-degree AN fittings, you know, to go on there. So when we have this thing come out of the side of that breather tube, it's going to sit just behind the carb or the filter for the air filter. And they're going to just tuck down right in the back corner. So I went with black because it's less visible. You're not really going to see it. You're going to see this nice chrome thing. These are kind of hidden behind the air filters. You know, so that's going to look good. I'm not going to use two of the plugs on the ends. The ones that point down, I don't think we're going to use those. So I got these M16 by 1.5. It's like a stainless little plug with an Allen head on it. That's just going to plug up the holes that we're not using. I got this really clean looking little filter with the red, and that's going to match when I oil the rest of the filters with that K&N oil. It's going to be red like this. So, you know, this will match. This is the breather that's going to kind of point straight out. This is just what's going to vent. I'm hoping that because this thing will hold like 1.5 quarts, that it doesn't fill up and start blowing oil out over everywhere. And I may make a little shroud to kind of cover that up just so it doesn't drip on the motor. But really it's just breathing into this tube and it's breathing out of this filter. And then when you shut it off, any oil that's in there is going to run back down, you know, into the valve covers and go back into the motor. So in theory, it's going to work really good. I have one of these filters right now on the alternator stand. So I actually got two of these so that I can make a match, because every time you buy a filter, it's different. But I want to make it match. I'm thinking of maybe vent that up, but then it's another hose that you're going to see and it's going to look terrible. So we're just going to have to see how it goes. But that'll go on there. All you need really to do this job is really this Allen for the plug. You got this Allen for the hardware that they sent, and then you got the screwdriver to take the old screws out, and the deck lid hinges. This is going to be a real quick one because it's super easy to just take out those 3 screws, put the brackets on there, put this on there, boop, put the hoses on there, and we got it. So let's jump in there and just do it so I can go back inside. It is hot out here. It's like, I don't know, it's like 9 o'clock at night. It's 104 degrees in here. Terrible. Let's get to work. All right, first task is we need to sort of assemble this thing just so we don't have to do it in the car. There's not a lot of room, so you know, we gotta do what we want to do. So I'm gonna put these plugs. I kind of did some fiddling in there and some fitting, some ideas, and see what we could do. But I'm gonna put these plugs. I'm gonna put one on the side over here, and I'm gonna put the other one. I'm gonna put the other one on the bottom here. Now I'm gonna do it the other way. This one goes on the bottom. This one goes on the side because I want any oil that's in there to drain out when we shut the car off. I don't want it to drain down the bottom here, so we're gonna hook up the hose to the side on this one. This is the passenger side. These fittings have a little O-ring on them too, which is pretty sweet. So if I put this right in there without scratching anything. Ooh, really should invest in the wrench. I've been doing so much with the AN fittings. All right. These stainless ones have a little copper washer on the bottom like your drain plug, just to keep them from getting stuck. These are stainless and this is stainless, so I don't feel like that's going to be too much of an issue. But there you go. So we're going to attach our breather fitting from the valve cover to here. We're going to put this little guy on here. Oop, we'll use this one. So this is going to sit in the car kind of like that. I'm going to try and hide any of the fitting underneath there, the little connector, but that's how that's going to sit. And like I said, I may have to make a little shroud or something so that doesn't blow down on the motor, but I don't feel like that much oil is going to get up all the way up through the lines, over the hump, around the corner, around the 45, you know, and then out. So in here, this one we're going to plug the side and we're going to attach the 45 down here. This is the driver's side, so it's actually tucked a little more behind that filter so I can get away with this. And then any oil is going to drain down back into that valve cover there. And I believe, I hope I'm right. Tell me if I'm not right, put in the comments. But I was reading a lot about this, and the passenger side will actually blow more because of the direction of the crank And the driver's side will actually have like, you can get almost like a little vacuum out of it. Maybe we'll put a little one-way valve or something, but that might help in pulling it up here and creating a little vacuum and pulling it back down. I don't want to hook it up to the air filters like I did on mine. That was no good. So let me assemble this real quick and then we'll move on to the brackets. In here you got your two hinges that hold the deck lid on, and they've got the 2 bolts here, and they got 3 bolts back here, and they got 3 bolts back here. We're looking for these 3 right here. The ones that are holding this part of the bracket too. This has deck lid standoffs, that's why there's so many extra, so that the deck lid stays open. We're gonna carefully do this, and I've already done it once. I know it's not that hard. I guess the right way to do it is probably to unbolt these 4 and take the deck lid off. I'm not doing that. It's a pain in the ass to, you know, readjust everything. You can do it this way if you're careful. We got this deck lid holder opener from our pal Mark, but you can jam a screwdriver usually down inside there, and that'll do kind of the same thing. You just want to make sure the screwdriver's on the side that you're not taking off, because once you get it loose, it's not going to work. And then you can kind of hold this as you go. It's just 3 screws. It's not that bad. So we're going to pull these screws out, and then we're going to put in, oh boy, I lost it. There's a bracket. I'll go find it. But there's a bracket that bolts in here, and it kind of wraps around this bit here, and then it has the tab. I've already got the other one done. And then there's a tab that thing mounts with. So. It's very, very important that you have your tabs. It's hard to see, but these are them right here. You want those to be pointed towards each other. Otherwise, that thing's not going to bolt up. Ask me how I know. I certainly did put those on the wrong side the first time. And yeah, that was not good. So make sure. That's why we make these videos, folks. That's for you guys. So when you do it, you know how to do it. These are excessively long, but they give you, which is super nice. I mean, Vintage Speed, always super high quality. They give you the nice cap screw, but they also give you this sweet little billet, sort of tapered washer. You know, it's fitted real nice, so it looks good, but it functions really well. You know, it's got a nice solid feel when you tighten it down. You know, you're not going to bend something. So that's nice. So we got those. I'm sweating like crazy out here. It's so freaking hot. Now we got to be real careful when we fish this thing down in there, because we don't want to scratch any paint. Done pretty good so far. So we got to kind of like get it back there without touching anything. And then we take this little guy. This is the part that's tricky because it's tight back there. Oh man. And we're not going to tight because we need to probably adjust it a little. Holy moly. Alright, this works better. So use one of these. It's I don't know, T25 I think is the size that fits. It's the same size as those little screws I sell for the engine tins. And that fits pretty good. It's a weird angle. This would definitely be easier with no deck lid on, but You know, lazy always finds the best way. I made a mess. So there you go. She's in. She's nice and tight. I'm going to change this because I don't like the 45 to put the hose on there. I mean, I can trim the hose, but you know, it's going to look kind of funky like that. So I'm going to put I think I'm going to put a 90, which will bring it a little more square and a little less visible. I could put it off to the side here, but then it wouldn't drain. You know, that thing would just fill up with oil. And now this is at a weird angle. I didn't realize I was going to be pointing down. So, you know, now for sure that thing's going to leak because that's lower. So we definitely want to, I wish that one of these was, I might bend one of those down just so this side's a little lower than the filter. And that'll definitely let it drain down here. This is the bottom versus like the side bottom, I guess. So I'm going to have to do a little fiddling. But for right now, I think that's going to be okay. I can shove that hose on there and at least it'll breathe when we finally get this thing to start. You know, we got our 45 on this side. I can suck some of that hose down there. You can really see that it hides nicely. Throw it on, right? There we go. So it hides nicely in that corner. You can still see it, but you can see it less. And if you stand back here where everybody's going to be looking from a show, you know, you don't really see them at all. They're black, they kind of hide in the shadows. So there you go. Now we just gotta wipe all my smudgy fingerprints off of there and kind of wipe down the motor. And we got it. I mean, that's it. Breather done. Almost. Everything almost, seems like everything almost gets done. We always gotta change something or order something. I guess that's hot rodding though. I mean, we've spent a lot of time trying to get this motor clean and, you know, organized, and everything's kind of hidden and everything is tucked away and, you know, out of view. Try to make it look as empty as possible, because it's a really nice car, and what it had before with all those extra wires, just a nightmare. So I think this looks pretty good, and we'll do some close-up shots of this. You can see it once I get it all wiped down and cleaned up. You know, it's solid. You can close the deck lid, it's not going to interfere, so they say. You know, everything, especially with this being pushed out, everything will be pushed away. So pretty good. Overall, pretty good quality. So let's get some fancy pictures and then we'll back up and we'll close her down for the week because I'm sweating like crazy. It is hot. There we go. I think it's looking pretty good. I like it. I'm happy with it. Other than one fitting, you know, you can plan all you want to plan, but you don't always get the perfect on the first try. There you go. Now you're in the focus. So I don't know. I'm gonna have to play with it a little more. I gotta definitely do something here. I don't want this to drip on this, you know, nice motor. I don't want to connect that to that because that's not gonna look good. If I have to do it, I'll use that stainless stuff, but I'd really rather not. Hopefully this doesn't drip. Maybe I gotta shroud that too. I don't know, it's gonna be a lot of work, but this is gonna get a 90 just to get it back around that linkage so it's not so tight. This one I like, this one's okay. But there you go, Vintage Speed breather tube stainless thing. They did a great job. It fits so super nice. And with the deck lid closed, I mean, if it didn't have these spacers on there, the Hooligan kit, it would still fit. You know, clears super nice. Tons of room. If you got $400 and your engine has a breathing problem, maybe that's the solution, you know, if you're trying to keep it clean back there. So that's gonna do it, man. I am dying. It's so freaking hot out here. Hit the links, hit the friends, buy some shirts. I think we found the new shirt place that can do different colors and different designs. So we're gonna do some more of those. We're gonna have some new designs out there very soon. Amazon store, got all that stuff on the Amazon store. All this stuff that I can find on Amazon, tools and whatever. That little screwdriver, I didn't even know I had that thing. I'm so happy I saw that because that worked way better than that little Allen. I'm gonna drop a set of those in there. They were pretty cheap. I just looked them up, so put those in there. Leave me a comment and hit that subscribe button. And thanks for watching.